This will be a good story.
All right, good Thursday morning. Welcome to the WLBB Community Voice here on News Talk 1330, FM 106.3, streaming live online at newstalk1330.com. This morning, we're on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page. And my name is Colin Worthington. I'll introduce you to my guest here in just a second. How about those levels, Josh? Did that turn out all right? I waited to the last second. We've been doing that a lot lately. The hosts are just taking for granted that the levels are fine, and we're coming out blazing or coming out too low. My guest has been on the program for several years. Probably was on about 5 times before then, 4 or 5 times, and kept himself out of the news for the last 2 years. But looks like it looks like he's doing something pretty good on the west side of Carrollton. You guys can decide that. We're going to talk about a new project. You can call him an entrepreneur. Definitely a businessman. Owns several properties, at least in Carrollton and maybe even Heard County as well. But one project that caught my attention that just started popping up this year. Want to talk about that this morning, so I think it's a good thing. Carver High School operated until 1969 when the integration of Carroll County schools was completed. At that time, the school closed and students were reassigned to previously all-white schools as part of the desegregation process. I'm stealing this off your website, though, by the way. I think that's
hopefully it's accurate.
That's why I was trying to blame it if it's messed up.
Yeah, if it's messed up, I didn't write it.
Following its closure as a high school, the building continued to serve the community in different capacities, including as an elementary school, preserving its role as a place of learning and gathering for decades. Today, the Carver Center carries that legacy forward. The auditorium has been reimagined as an event space, but its foundation remains the same, a place where people come together. From performances and celebrations to community events, the space continues to echo with the history, resilience, and spirit of those who came before you. That was definitely from your website. Dr. Brent Harris, my guest this morning.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming out and talking about this. I think the first thing that caught my attention, and we can talk about this more later, was that discussion of having like a comedy night and at that place. And the first person I thought about was Josh. Josh Shingle, the guy punching the buttons today. So we could talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, if he does stand-up, that's it.
Oh, gosh, he's got characters. He's got everything. He could do the whole 2 hours. He could be the headliner for every week out there, without a doubt.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about. Let's go back to your initial purchase of the Carver School, because there was some some frustration with that on part of the community. I mean, this school means a lot to those who attended and their descendants, their sons and daughters, and it's a piece of history that has largely been neglected.
Yep.
For several years. But did you buy that in 18, 19?
Yeah, I want to say it was like 18 or 19. I had gotten a call that said it was going up for sale, kind of like a rapid sale. They had gotten into some kind of, it was a nonprofit that owned it at the time. They had gotten into some issues for either the state or federal government or both about some kind of payroll taxes that they were deficient in. They had to come up with some money to satisfy those. The local directors of that nonprofit, they had just resigned from their position. And so the nonprofit's like, well, we'll just liquidate that property and satisfy those debts. And at the time, I'd kind of bought it sight unseen as a teardown. They told me it was in horrendous shape, just verbal. I didn't actually go through any of the buildings at the time.
You knew it was the former site of the school, though?
I did not.
Oh, you didn't know?
Well, I knew it was a school, but I didn't know any of the history. Yeah, I didn't know any of the history of it at that time. And they said, well, what do you think on it? I sent them an offer on it. It was a cash offer at the time. Hey, I'll close it in 2 weeks. Here you go. And they're like, okay, done. They signed, we closed it and took it over, and it kind of sat for a while. I kind of learned a little bit about it. COVID hit, and we initially were going to try to build out a molecular laboratory at the upper building over there. So I'd sent I talked to the city. This is during like the shutdown. I said, I can probably get a molecular lab up and running pretty quickly over there, because there was a big deficiency in the testing capability across the country and across the state. And so I'd sent some of my construction guys in there and hired some other ones to go in and gut the buildings, pressure wash them, bleach them, start painting and working on some of the electric on the upper building, to do kind of like a super speedy molecular laboratory for testing. And at the time, the city's like, oh, okay, well, it's technically zoned, residential multifamily, so this is like a business operation type thing, so we're going to have to go through like an emergency rezoning thing. I said, okay, whatever we got to do. And so they hammered some signs out there and I guess put notifications in the paper and stuff like that, and there's a big uproar from the community about it, and so that initial plan kind of got canceled.
Is that the first time that you really felt that people cared about the history of that?
Yeah, that was probably when it all kind of boiled up. I don't think anybody cared before that. I never heard anything about it when I bought it, or in the months after I bought it, nothing. And
we talked about it. We have a mutual friend, Carrollton Gray, and she comes on the show once a year and talks about doing that exhibit. But yeah, I could see how and why she would care about it.
Yeah. There's a lot of people initially, they were like, well, how'd you end up with it? It should be back in the community. And I was like, it was with the community. It was, Boys and Girls Club were out there for a while. And then a nonprofit had it. The nonprofit just let it totally get dilapidated and destroyed. I mean, there was, in the upper building, the most northern building, they had, and I don't know if it was part of the Boys and Girls Club or if it was the nonprofit's materials, but, half of that building up there was filled with all kinds of, child education type, toys and materials and stuff, and there were some problems with like water getting into the building. It was all just mold and destroyed.
Save that stuff inside.
Oh yeah, we took dumpsters and dumpsters of stuff out of those buildings. Yep.
Well, it was 220. It was probably the spring of 220 where you talked about the molecular lab. Maybe 6 months after that, pulled out that plan for good. I mean, that was
yeah. I ended up putting the molecular lab over on Bankhead Highway. So I ended up gutting out another small business suite that I had over on Bankhead Highway right across the street from the clinic right next to the Montessori school. And so we built out the molecular lab there in about 2 to 3 month time. So
Brent Harris, our guest on this morning's Community Voice program. So 6 years. It's just, sat there doing nothing for 6 years, or had you tried to do other things? Are there more?
No, I mean, we've just I've been kind of slowly whittling away at it. It's kind of been like a little part-time side project, I guess. And so we've just been, putting a little bit of money into it over time. And here we are.
We will talk in more detail about it when we come back from our first break here. But since you've had it, how much have you had to change the interior? I mean, is it just, were there multiple classrooms and things like that inside of it?
The upper buildings, they were
I can't even picture upper building. I mean, it's just
there's 4 buildings over there.
Separate buildings.
Yeah, okay. Separate buildings. There's the most northern building. It's about 8,000, 9,000 square feet, and then there's a long rectangular building where most of the classrooms were at. That's up on the top of the hill that you see from the cemetery.
Okay, right.
That's the main one that most of I'd say the drawings or portraits and pictures are done of. And then down right next to the water park, there's 2 buildings there. One is the old gymnasium where the basketball goals are in. That's kind of the one in between MLK and Leroy Childs. And then the one right on Leroy Childs is the old, cafeteria auditorium type thing. And that's the one we renovated.
But the hoops, but you own all those buildings then?
Yep. Okay. Yeah, it's all one parcel.
The ones that are the hoops, I know that they had a state championship basketball team at some point. Were those up during that time?
I guess.
So that goes back to the high school.
Yeah, it seems like.
All right.
There was a bunch of some trophies and stuff that were left over there.
No kidding.
Yeah, from the school.
And what'd you do with that?
I saved. We picked through them, and I saved some of the good ones. I posted a while back about if anybody wanted them. No one came and got any.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I thought they would. So you're going to be able to display things like that? Is there anything like that you can display in the ballroom?
Maybe display a couple of them. I don't know.
Right. Well, we are promoting this new idea that Brent Harris and his wife, no doubt, had. I'm sure she contributed ideas to this. It's called the Carver Center, and it's carrying the legacy forward of George Washington Carver and the school that was there. They operated for 15 years, something along those lines, maybe 20 years.
The school?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure the exact duration of the school. I know it was there for a long time.
Yeah. And I was on your all's website, I did read where it had been up. I didn't realize it had been up since like 1919 or 1915 or something like that.
The very northern part of the building, it had an old shop in there. So like even some of the old electrical panels and stuff that's up there, because I think it was renovated in the mid '80s. I want to say, I'm not sure the exact time. I think the '80s is when it was renovated. But, if you tear off some stuff and look behind it, you can see some old notation of, this is the shop press or this is the saw and this kind of stuff. So I think it must have been like a woodworking shop or something up there at one time for the initial Carver High School. So it's kind of cool.
How much can you? Yeah, how much can you seriously, keep of that stuff? I mean, if it's been up there, some of it's 100 years old, maybe.
Yeah. So the nice thing about that building, so I was told it was a tear down, and when I got over there and looked at it, I'm like, there's nothing wrong with these buildings. They're nice buildings. They're very high quality construction. They're all block and brick. So I mean, they're essential stone, concrete type construction with heavy duty metal, purlins and stuff like that for the roof structures. And so the only building that's more recently constructed is the basketball gymnasium there, and that's just a red iron metal building. So even that one's fine. You could resheet it, and it's brand new.
Have they been using that basketball court at all? Has that been open to anybody?
No.
Not even. I mean, before.
Yeah, it's kind of filled with storage stuff right now, but yeah.
Your own storage stuff or stuff that was there before?
No, yeah,
okay, I was getting excited thinking about it full of the older stuff. All right, time right now is 8:41. We'll come back and continue our conversation with Brent Harris about this new project that he and his wife have started in the former George Washington Carver School. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health and Oak Mountain Academy.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Do the math. At Oak Mountain Academy, our average graduating class has just 12 students. We celebrate a 100% graduation rate with more than $10.5 million in college scholarships offered. Plus, 96% of our students are accepted into their top choice college. Do the math. Can you see the value of an OMA education? I'm Patrick Uran, head of school at Oak Mountain Academy, and I'm here to help you do the math. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us so that you can discover your journey on the mountain, where every path leads to purpose.
8:42. Welcome back to the Community Voice, News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. My name is Colin Worthington. My guest this morning, Brent Harris, as we talk about a new idea he and his family have started. I guess you guys have started in the last 5-6 months is when you really started putting it out there in the public.
So.
It's the Carver Center, which is in the former George Washington Carver School here in the city of Carrollton. All right, get us to the point where you guys started thinking about this. I mean, for the 5 years, I mean, were you just playing around with things? And
yeah, we really didn't know what we wanted to do with it. I had a meeting with Alan Bell a while back, and we were kind of figuring out what we could do with the zoning that was there, and this whole concept of a community hall, kind of an event center type thing. Met with the zoning that was already on the place. We're like, yeah, we'll do that. Well, we needed a kind of a place for the school for, school plays or little performances, school dances. And so that's kind of what started it. And so we started working on it. And then it kind of, matured and developed into what it is now. And, we put a disco ball in there and, dance floor in the middle of it, redid the entire stage for it, put nice drapes and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's a really... The concept of it is to have kind of like an event space that's conducive to a lot of different type of events. We want to have like a comedy night there. I want to do, a yearly kids Pinewood Derby race. Have like maybe some of the local automotive type shops or dealerships sponsor it, and maybe the winning kid gets $1,000 or something. First, second, third, 1,000, 500, 250. I'm just coming up with ideas, but that'd be fun. I raced Pinewood Derby cars when I was in Boy Scouts, and
I still have 2 or 3. Yeah. I mean, they're so bland and generic, though. I mean, yours might have been fancier than mine, but
no, mine weren't that.
And they had you put a weight in the front of them.
Yeah,
or the back.
Get the weight just perfect. My dad was, he helped me with mine, and let's polish the wheels, let's make them go a little bit faster. Let's polish these axles. Okay.
Crafty 8-year-olds. The other, you say there's 3 other buildings?
Yeah, there's a couple other buildings associated with that entire parcel. The upper buildings are currently, there's multiple classrooms in them. I've talked about the idea of building kind of some loft type apartments in them. Yeah, I think that would be a nice.
So the classrooms are intact in those.
Yeah,
and I guess the upper building, the one with the auditorium, there weren't any classrooms in that one.
No.
Okay. So you didn't have to take down too many walls.
No, just a couple. Yeah, we moved a couple little walls, redid all the bathrooms, basically sandblasted the entire structure. So I got a big heavy-duty industrial sandblaster after we demoed out all the old junk out of it, the old windows and some old non-structural stuff. Sandblasted everything. I think the guy was over there for 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month or so. And then went back and, repainted all the metal, repainted a lot of the block. We kept all the original, the tile was from Brazil from the early 1900s in that building. So it's kind of cool. We kept that. We changed the grout color, put on new commercial storefronts, put some tongue and groove, ceilings and decorative things in there. And yeah, it came out good. I like it.
Has anybody reached out to you, say, because initially, in 2020, you say people weren't so happy with somebody else owning that.
Yep.
Has anybody come up to you since
everybody that's come over and looked at it, they're like, oh man, this is amazing. Yeah. People walk in when we're working on it, and they'll do FaceTime to friends and family that went there to school.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
You got to check this place out. They got a disco ball in here. Yeah. Look at this place. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. We'll probably have some kind of open house event to just the general public, so they can come by and check it out. Some drinks and crackers or snacks, that kind of thing, or maybe have a barbecue over there. We're not sure. Yeah.
The I forgot where I was going with that. It was going to be a real good question too. Oh, you mind mentioning the investment? How much you guys have invested in this financially? Is that?
It's hundreds of thousands of dollars. I have no idea of the total.
Yeah,
because I didn't really want to pay attention to it. I just kind of kept putting a little bit of money in. I
got to stop now and just leave it halfway.
Yeah, you just keep. It has to be done, so it's like, keep going.
So as far as rolling it out in grand opening, is that something you like by the end of the year? Do you hope to do it by this summer? Are people already making reservations for things?
Yeah, we have, so Debbie Forrest is the lady that's running all the event coordination right now. She's historically been involved with event planning and things like that. So, she can, if you have like a nonprofit event or say you want to rent it out from a corporate event or the city
mental
or something.
Advocates could do their thing there, right?
Yeah, exactly. We'll work with a lot of nonprofits. It'll probably be free for most of those kind of guys. So, yeah.
How about amenities inside? Is there a kitchen?
There's no kitchen. There used to be a kitchen in that building. We tore all that stuff out. There's a catering area where you can set up catering. A little kitchenette type area with sink and stuff, but there's no specific kitchen on site.
And how about
I did that intentionally. I just didn't want to get in the middle of cooking and health inspection rules and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So do you need an alcohol license or anything to operate that thing? Is that?
I wasn't planning on getting an alcohol license. I don't want to get over there in the middle of selling, alcohol. Uh-huh. I think, special events kind of thing, you can get a special event alcohol license, if you're going to do a couple events a year type of thing.
And have a maximum capacity?
I think it's 234. I think 230 something. So decent number. It's not massive.
Well, 234. Not 230, but 234.
Yeah, I think it's 234.
That's what. And I guess electricity. There'll be outlets and things for people to. Who are planning that. Yep. And you did kind of touch on it with the trophies, but is there anything else significant from the from the school years that was up there? I guess you talk about the floor that.
No, they kind of used it. The school. My impression was that everybody kind of used the lower place as like a dumping ground for stuff they didn't want. So there's a lot of old computers and TV monitors and just junk and trash. It was just kind of filled up with crap. And so, just dozens and dozens of dumpsters of stuff got taken out of there, which is crazy.
Yeah. Well, all right. Brent Harris, our guest on this morning's Community Voice program, talking about the latest project he and his family are taking part. We'll see if there's anything else to ask about that. Otherwise, we'll ask you some doctoral questions about your practice. But we'll come back with about 10 minutes on this morning's Community Voice, brought to you by Tanner Health and Oak Mountain Academy.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Oak Mountain Academy specializes in a customized designed academic approach tailored to meet the needs of our families. Our lower division prepares students with the necessary foundation to build excellence. Our middle division provides students with over 15 course offerings, providing them with opportunities to explore their talents and gifts. Our upper division provides personalized academic journeys, allowing them to achieve their dreams. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us, where every path leads to purpose.
All right, 8:50. Welcome back to the Community Voice. My name's Colin Worthington. My guest this morning, Brent Harris, talking about his and his family's latest project, restoring the George Washington Carver School, and they're going to open up the Carver Center at some point this year. Do you encourage maybe graduates of the school or their families to somehow get involved? Is there some way they can get involved with this project?
Yeah, I mean, they can feel free to reach out if they have any ideas of what they want to do with it. I gave Carolyn Gray a call a while back, a couple weeks ago, to see if she wanted to do some kind of event there. She said she's going to get back with me. So, but yeah, I'm happy to have an event there with them or get involved with them if they want to do something with it.
Is it a good place for proms or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's got a limited capacity. I mean, it's only, low 200s capacity. So, I mean, it's not like you can have like 1,000 people, but for small schools, small private schools,
such as your own,
like homeschool groups or something like that, it'd be a perfect place for that kind of thing.
Mix the homeschools together.
Yeah.
And
we've had a little dance over there already with our school. The kids really loved it, so they had a fun time.
And you said there's no kitchen in there. Are you going to work with a specific caterer, or will everybody have to bring their own caterer?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have a list of preferred vendors. We're kind of building that out right now of, if you want catering over there, or, we want people to have, license insured for catering. We don't just want any person bringing food over there. If there's a group event, I don't want a bunch of people getting sick.
Yeah, you talked about some of the events you hope to have, and like I say, the one that caught my attention was a comedy night. I mean, you're surprised that doesn't happen in other places, so you wonder how successful it can be.
Yeah, I mean, I think the benefit is it's, I'm not looking at it like, I have to, churn a bunch of cash through that thing and try to make a big profit with it. I want it to really be a place where the community has a lot of fun events there, and brings people together. So, I mean, comedy is one of those things that's always bringing people together. The comedians can get up there and they can poke fun at everybody, make people laugh and joke about things that people are stressed out about. But I think that's really good for society. So, I mean, I was thinking like a monthly comedy club would be really fun there, like once every third Friday, or, I don't know what day it's going to be yet, but that's on the plan, is to do a monthly comedy club up there.
Well, get Josh's information. I mean, we may lose him. He may just get sucked up into that
Josh
and
can
become
be
a
the
big
opening,
star.
Event, so you guys can advertise it, and we can sell, $10 tickets. He can make some money of it,
He's got some shticks. He does pretty
like
good.
it.
We watch it. We're stuck here till 11 o'clock. We get out here at 9. We're stuck for like 2 hours. So just,
so we mentioned that.
Josh for 2 hours.
I think the Pinewood Derby race, the annual Pinewood Derby race, would be really fun for the kids. Small school plays and events like that, dances, it'll be fun.
Somebody's got ideas. I mean, they reach out to you guys on Facebook, or they give you a call, or?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty easy to get in touch with here.
If somebody wanted to do something this summer, like in 4 weeks, would you guys be ready for that?
Yeah.
Or,
I bought tables and chairs. There's 200 some, chairs and tables over there set up for it. So, I mean, it's ready to go.
All right, very cool. I was having a conversation with somebody this week about the fact, you were testing the water when all the cooties were going around here.
Oh, yeah, and COVID testing.
Yeah, COVID. And you may have done it a little bit after that, too.
Yeah, we did it we just recently stopped doing it
going back
about
to his doctor
6
job
months ago.
Here. So not somebody who's running a theater or studio. This is going back to his day job. But
we dialed that back about 12 months ago.
Oh, did you dial it back?
We tested for years though.
Are we any reason to start testing for that one? What's the one on the ship?
The hantavirus?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And
I think they'll get that one contaed.
And we're not really worried about that either.
I'd probably worry more about the Ebola.
Yeah. We worry about that one coming out this far?
Ebola is one of those things that's like more of a third world virus, with dilapidated conditions.
I guess maybe missionaries or something who
it really wouldn't spread that well here in the States, but there's always a risk for something like that. I do think at some point the world's going to be forced to deal with a major pandemic. COVID really wasn't a major pandemic. It was a very mild one. I know as crazy as that sounds, but very low mortality rate for COVID. So, I mean, transmission was relatively easy and high, but most people, 99% of people didn't die from it.
Who were healthy.
Yes,
anyway.
But if you get like a severe type of illness where you have, 10%, 15%, 20, 30% mortality, I mean, that's an economic,
trying to take advantage of the time here with your doctor knowledge. We talked for a good half hour about ADHD, and I mean I'd love to share that conversation. But there's another current topic is kratom, the sale, and that it could be harmful. And some people say no, it's doing good things for me. Do you see any issues with that?
Kratom. I put kratom in one of these kind of like alternative, herbal type. Therapy type things for people. Maybe it helps some people, but I'd say in the grand scheme of things, it's probably more harmful than good for most people. And it's highly addicting. And so it works on a lot of the same kind of receptors in the brain that some of the opiates do. And so it's kind of like people that are addicted to heroin or opiates, alcohol, a little bit of that as well. And so people that are trying to get off of it, they have a very difficult time. So you use a lot of the same medications as like an opiate addiction with kratom. So I'm using Suboxone a little bit for patients to get off of it. I have some patients that cannot get off of it. They try to wean down and have all kinds of problems on kratom. I mean, they're going to the gas station having to buy it 5-6 times a day.
Really, just
spending thousands of dollars a year,
kratom at the gas station.
$10,000 a year on kratom.
I know there was, they were in the state legislature this year. They were trying to look at some laws, like maybe just make it where they sell it at the drugstores, and you actually have to go through, maybe not be prescribed, but you could at least talk to a pharmacist there and get an idea about it, rather than.
Yeah, the problem with a lot of these, like, I guess these. Herbal medicine type things you're buying at the convenience store is most of this stuff is manufactured overseas in Mexico, China, that kind of stuff.
And manufactured is the key word there, right? I mean, like kratom's not. I mean, I guess it's turned into pill form and things like that.
Well, someone's getting it and manufacturing the whatever they're selling at the convenience store, right? Well, a lot of these things are mixed and blended with all kinds of other stuff, so you just don't know what all is going in it. You don't know the strength of it. There's no real regulation on it. And so therein lies the problem, right? It's kind of like all these men's health things that you see in the convenience stores. A lot of these, a lot of these things have Viagra in them that, men are like, oh, wow, this stuff works really well. Yeah, it's got prescription Viagra in it from China that, and then it gets, someone comes down and the regulators get a hold of it and take it off the market. Well, then there's another one that gets released the next week.
See, back in my days, all we had to worry about was the white crosses, the little truck stop speed. That was that's what got us through.
No, there's everything everywhere nowadays.
No, absolutely. All right, we got one more minute left. I guess invite people who are interested in this project. How can they participate? How can they reach out to you or your wife, and maybe even check out the joint?
Yeah, so just follow me on Facebook. You can feel free to message me, send me your cell phone. I'm easy to get in touch with. You can text the clinic, U.S. Med Clinic. They can get in touch with me pretty easy. So yeah,
and it's called the Carver Center. That's what it is. That's what it is on Facebook. It's just the Carver Center.
I believe so.
Okay, all right, Brent. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't have the exact website or the Facebook page link in front of me right now, but yeah.
Well, thank you for doing that. I hope everybody else feels like it's a great thing that is being done to
much better than tearing it down.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for coming out and talking about it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you guys for watching and listening to this morning's Community Voice here on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. I don't know if we have a guest tomorrow. We've been struggling bringing in some guests, being that this is Josh says we're like 50-50 at this point for tomorrow. But, it is a holiday week. Everybody's on vacation post-graduation. So, hey, if you got an idea and you can talk for 28 minutes, send me an email at news@newstalk1330.com. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great Thursday.